Down a game in the red color, starting to the right side of the map of Metropolis is the NS Socio player. It is
NS jjakji.
Atlantis Space Bear was not a good map for jjakji.
No.
He played quite well, but now he has to win the map if he wants to force a third game against his opponent, starting for Team SCB Live. To the left side on cross position in the blue color, we have the TSL player.
GSL symbol.
Gotta be a great feeling to be Symbol right now, coming off of a great performance in Iron Squid, being able to take out a former GSL champion who beat one of the best players, Zerg players in the world, Lenok at the time. Gotta feel great to be able to finally be at this stage, be one game away from being in Code S. He's gone up from Code B, could eventually go into Code S and then do really well next season. He's someone who's been training really, really hard, hasn't really been able to prove himself just yet, but he's in the spotlight right now. Everyone's watching him saying, I think he's actually really good. He's so underrated. Who is this guy? It's got to be a great feeling in anyone's career to be on the up and up like this.
Symbol is definitely a player that we should watch out for. You might see him in Code S next season. He just came down, well, he qualified from Code B, and a lot of these TSL players are actually insanely good. Hyun comes to mind, who will definitely participate in the next Code A qualifier as well. And this is only, well, the Code A qualifier is actually in 2 weeks.
Yep. Should be great. Trying to bring you guys as much coverage as possible of that.
I was actually talking to Mr. Che. We don't have a final approval of it yet, but I'll definitely try to set up a live stream for you guys. We were relying on Twitter coverage the last few times, and I really hope that this time we will be able to give you a video feed as well.
Yeah, and if we can't get video feed, we'll try to give you guys as much Twitter updates as possible. It's a really cool event. It's very, very intense, but it's very awesome as well. Well, at this point, Factory is going down for jjakji, who is changing things up from what we've seen so far from our Terran versus Zergs. He's going for the Reactor Hellions before Command Center, whereas the other Terrans we've seen, even jjakji last game, go 1 Rax expanded to double gas, then into Reactor Hellions. On a map that's smaller like this, though, you can do a lot more with the Hellions than on Atlantis Space Bear like we saw last game. So I like the difference, the choice here. Ooh, he's actually adding 2 additional barracks here. I wonder what this is going to mean.
This looks to me a lot like the push that we've seen over and over again, mostly in 2 bases, but you can play it on 1 base as well, with a ton of Marines and a few Hellions. Without stim, without combat shield, trying to hope that your opponent does not have a Baneling Nest, then you can do a lot of damage, might be able to take the game right away. But it's a bit risky.
It's very risky. I'd rather even see the Marauder Hellion push than this one, you know what I mean? I don't feel as comfortable about this one. jjakji a little bit supply blocked. His depot will finish in just a second here, then he can begin his triple Marine production. We'll see what add-ons he may decide to add here. He is getting 1 Tech Lab, and that's most likely going to be for Stim. May add some Marauders into the mix with this. It's not known if he's going to do this off of 1 base or not. It just looks like he is. He's not saving up money for a Command Center, and I think he's going to do a heavy 1 base push. Probably will expand behind it. But, I mean, it can be used as a 1 base all-in, though.
I would love to see a few Marines just at the bottom of his main base. He was already able to force one of the Overlords back, but he needs to make sure that this is not scouted. He was just able to make definitely sure that his opponent does not know, okay, there is currently no expansion. That's something that Symbol just does not know.
Very true. Right now...
Oh, and there it is. The Overlord tries to get in. There's 1 Marine. The second one is heading this way as well. And is the Overlord dying in time? Might just see 1 barracks, but
I don't think he's going to see it. He will not see... Oh, he sees 1.
But that doesn't tell him a lot.
No, not enough. So it's a little bit... Because it could just be the barracks from earlier moved. He doesn't know. Oh, the Hellions are going to engage these Queens. Oh, he knows what's up, man. Great reaction by Symbol. He's like, why would that barracks be that far behind, though? That's kind of weird. He switched the barracks and started siege tanks, by the way, something we didn't discuss, but some of you guys have probably already picked up on the production tab. He is making only Marines and siege tanks. This is going to be that push you described, just tank Marine very early on. Oftentimes it's done on 2 base, but he's doing a faster version of it. And even with those Spine Crawlers with siege mode out and good control, he's going to need Banelings and he's going to need to hit with the Zerlings correctly. It's a very difficult push to hold, even if you know it's coming.
I like this a lot more than the push with the Hellions that we've seen. That's usually, as described, a 2-base push. But I'm not really sure if this is going to work as well as jjakji intends it to. because we have kind of the knowledge of Symbol already, what kind of attack he's going to deal with. But just look at the army supply, 35 against 19. There's the Baneling Nest. I feel it's a little bit too late, though.
Yeah, it's a bit late. He will be able to have Banelings out in time if he wants them, but not as many as he would have liked. This is really nice, catching these reinforcements.
That is really, really important.
He needs to raise the depots here. Well, trying to attack Hellions with Zerglings is always a gamble. And in this case, he rolls Snake Eyes.
He is getting 22 Zerglings now. Baneling Nest is halfway done. He was still able to delay it just a tiny little bit, and those Spinecrawlers will hold of the tanks for another few precious seconds. He might just be able to crush this. He's getting so many Zerglings. The Baneling Nest is ready.
He's going to have to scan probably. Oh, he's going to catch them while he's on siege.
He's moving it.
He goes for it. The Spine Crawlers, even though the Zerglings are going to be cleared up, the Spine Crawlers will remain alive. I don't know if I agree with moving these Spines right now, but it looks like it's not going to matter. He targets down the Siege Tank. All the Siege Tanks are gone. The Queens with their additional range, and the Spines going up. Symbol holds.
Symbol holds, and getting rid of the tanks was the crucial thing in this particular defense. He knew that as soon as the tanks would siege up, it would be very hard for him to engage. He didn't even use the Zerglings that are still on the map. He tries to catch the reinforcements with them, and now he suddenly is in a position where he has 3 Spinecrawlers, he has Zerglings, he's building 30 at a time, getting upgrades, he has the potential Baneling, and this is just really, really bad for jjakji now.
Yeah,
because
39 to 27 Harvesters right now.
Exactly, and 1 base against.
1 base against 2. He starts a Command Center now out of desperation. He has no wall off, however, and Symbol's Zergling count is now up to 36. He could potentially counter pressure and catch these units. Many of them, again, are very weak from that last attack, so he may be prone to do that. He's actually moving out now to try to catch some reinforcements potentially. 2 Command Centers going down for jjakji, who is very behind at this point.
If he catches these reinforcements, I doubt that he will, but if so, then this would be so bad for jjakji. Suddenly he wouldn't even have the units to... Oh my god, and he's getting the Marines. He's getting the Marines. Oh, this is so bad. A ton of them die. And now there is no way that jjakji can get aggressive anymore. He's 20 supply behind, and Symbol is actually just going for it. He's building so many Zerglings now, and he will go for a Baneling attack here.
Yeah, he absolutely will. He's trying to get rid of these Hellions, but again, attacking Hellions with Zerglings, even if they have speed, is always a bit of a risky choice. He's got enough units out here now to where Symbol cannot feel comfortable attacking that, but with the 30 additional Zerglings you were mentioning earlier that are about to pop out, he can definitely feel comfortable. There is no wall whatsoever set up. He made a fast 3rd command center. It's going to be basically impossible for him to hold this Baneling aggression. I think he's going to die.
That's the thing, though. He has 2 siege tanks. He has actually 3. So if he sieges them up on the high ground or in a good position where he can focus down the Banelings, then he might be able to hold this. And then suddenly Symbol would be far behind, as he would face 3 orbitals, and it will all come down to the control in the next game. Is he able to do enough damage with those Lings and there are a ton of Banelings, and they move in right now.
There's just too many, I think, even with nice targeting.
No target fire. Finally has a little bit of target fire going on, but yeah, look at it. He's taking down the Banelings. Will he defend against the Zerglings, though? There are too many that siege tanks are gone.
Too many.
He's
I think this is going to be it, man. Our GSL champion is going to lose here.
Yes.
The TSL Symbol, who will now be in Code S. GG! jjakji going for a cool all-in in Game 2. Symbol holding it. Great scouting. Great decision-making. By the way, if we didn't have that Overlord patch, we would not have seen the barracks at all. That's just another thing that, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about this patch, but it's something, these little changes that affect the game so much.
There's one question, though. Do you think that jjakji might have been better off positioning the siege tanks on the high ground and just lifting his orbital as soon as he saw that jjakji was committed?
No question in my mind. Yeah, no question in my mind. I think he never really knew how many Zerglings there were, though. I think he thought, oh, he's going to keep attacking me with a small first group. I don't think he knew there was that huge second wave coming.
There still would have been this problem for him that he would have lost a lot of mining time.
In general, the siege tanks need to be on the top no matter what. No matter whether he lifts the orbital or not, at least 1 siege tank should be on the high ground there. Bit of a mistake by jjakji, but
it would have given him just the option to defend against this a little bit better. He would have, of course, lost the mining time on the low ground, but as this would only have been necessary if Symbol committed to this, which he did. Which also means that he didn't get enough drones, then suddenly he would have been better off with 3 orbitals, but still he decided to defend on the low ground, tried to hold it, and Symbol just had way too much. He didn't get any additional drones after he held off this push, and this is kind of what jjakji was assuming, that he tried to get into a macro mode, but Symbol just went out for an all-out attack.
Yeah, I would have assumed the same as well. From jjakji's position, I don't think that he cut too many corners, really. It's just that, well, making the third command center was something he had to do. He would probably expect his opponent to drone up heavily. That's not what we saw, though, and it was a little bit surprising. He didn't see the second wave of Zerlings. The first wave, if he defends that, he's probably going to be like, all right, well, I've done this. Okay, I can move on. I kept my siege tanks alive. But the second wave, man, it was too much for him. And that is it, man. Symbol is in Code S. Going all the way up from Code B now through Code A, winning Code A. Now if you win Code A, it's just getting to the final round and going into Code S. And of course, now jjakji's going to have to play in the up and down matches. We'll see how he does then and there. We still have one final match. It's going to be between Alive and Lenog. It's going to be a sick match. Yeah. Don't want to miss it, so we'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, nice. More zealots.
You could be my it girl.